This is a very important day, ladies and gentlemen, in the history of the Lions movement in Kenya and in Africa as a whole. It marks the first time this gathering is being held on African soil, 45 years since the partnership between the movement and the United Nations was launched. Let me therefore express our appreciation to the Lions of District 411 for volunteering to host this event in Kenya, and on the same note, extend a warm welcome to our guests from other countries. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to start my address by indulging you in an account from the wild. I did indicate that you should visit our national parks, so I think it's appropriate that I begin to give you a little bit of an appetizer, an example from the wild, as related by an anonymous traveler. He asked me that I don't mention his name. The story goes, I quote, "I went on a lion safari by myself, as it has always been a dream of mine to do something like that. These animals are breathtaking. They have a pride and carry a mysterious aura that draw people to them. I think lions truly reflect the spirit of life. Lionesses babysit other mothers' cubs, while she will hunt and live in groups called prides with as many as 40 lions in them. I was always fascinated by lions, but since going on the tour, I've learned so much more." End of quote. On reflection, it occurred to me that these travelers tell about the king of the jungle, the lion, in this story compared rather well with the lion seated here this morning, the lions who invited me to address this occasion. Indeed, in many ways, the immense and heart-warming accomplishments of the Lions movement captures the imagination in the same way the lion in the wild fascinated the traveler with its mysterious aura, the aura that draws people to them. Just as the lionesses in the wild babysit other mothers' cubs, the Lions movement truly reflects the spirit of life through compassion, through care, and concern for others with unsurpassed measure. To become and remain king in the human kingdom, one has no choice but look beyond himself or herself to others who may, albeit momentarily, be held in unfavorable circumstances. This spirit of empathy and concern for others is one of the finest expressions of humanity and indeed the pinnacle of service to fellow mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, the inspiring words of the late Melvin Jones, the greatest lion of them all and founder of the Lions Clubs International, that I quote, "You can't say that you can't get very far until you start doing something for somebody else." End of quote. These are words that are alive today as they were when he first uttered them a century ago. These are words that should be permanently ingrained in every human heart and mind, as they are a constant reminder to us of the importance of community service and need for reaching out to others. Informed by such a wonderful and timeless philosophy that becomes even more relevant in the world we live in today that tends to be fast, unfeeling, and aloof, nothing becomes as urgent and invaluable as the Lions Club International motto, which simply proclaims, "We serve." In this motto, we begin to appreciate how great a privilege it is to be able to leave the world a better place than we found it. But this only happens when we free ourselves from the smallness of our solitary being, when we extend our horizons beyond our private preoccupations. In Kenya, Lions District 411A, which also covers Ethiopia and the Seychelles, is a good example of Melvin's philosophy. Why? Because the enormous work you have accomplished in various fields defies the bounds of any monetary value. In fact, your contribution to the welfare of mankind in this part of the world is a fine expression of sacrifice. For that I commend you and urge you not to tire in your commitment to rid the world of worries whose solutions are within easy reach, but which have unfortunately lingered on because somewhere along the way the spirit of outreach was let to wither and dry out.